My friend who has done a couple coaching sessions with you had recommended you and
Sure.
he actually bought the coaching session for me because I've
Nice.
gotten a
Love
little bit
that.
better since then, but I was pretty new to Overwatch. I'd played like a bit of Valorant, but otherwise like didn't have a lot of like FPS experience at all. So I was kind of learning at the time and it helped him a bit and he's like, would you do this if I bought you a session? I was like, yeah, like that sounds fun. And I've been watching a lot of your videos since then,
Cool.
and I've been pretty excited for this. So
Cool.
yeah,
Cool. I love friends that passively suggest that you suck at the game. You need to get better. We love that.
right.
Okay. Obviously, if things have changed since you filled out the form, let me know. But at the time of the form, high gold, low plat, May OTP. Correct.
I just hit diamond a few days ago,
Ooh.
but I
Okay.
am still a main one trick.
Okay. Okay. So talk me through why May. How long has it been May? And then crucially, how long you've been playing Overwatch? What did it look like climbing from gold to diamond? Just give me your full history since you've started, and especially the last few months.
Gotcha. So I've probably been playing. My first few months of the game was pretty on and off. I would say I didn't really like actually start grinding and like actively to improve until probably about 3 months ago. I have about 100 and probably 120, 130 hours, maybe 100, even 150 in comp, and almost
Mm-hmm.
all of it is May. I like May because I'm not incredibly. I don't have a ton of mechanical skill, and when I tried out the game, I thought it was kind of cool that I found a character that I could use my brain a little bit more than my aim, um, but also because she's really annoying and it's satisfying to do some like cheeky. I like the cheeky little plays and like the like kind of the stupid tech that you can do. I try not to like obsess over it obviously in comp games because some of the time it's a little more gimmicky than anything, but I probably do it more often than I should. But yeah, I really enjoy that aspect of the
What
game.
kind of text do you enjoy?
Uh, I mean, just the classic, like getting good wall off on the tank,
Yeah.
blocking the entryways to like cap point, using walls to like get up onto things or like trap people in tiny spaces and take like good fights. Really
Sure.
good. Um, but I play a little bit of Ash. I probably should mention that from time to time, so it's not like a true May, but other than that, like I'd say 95% of the hours are on May.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's fun because May is probably one of my favorite DPS to play. She's probably my best DPS actually, which is cool. I think she's really underrated
And I
with
noticed
just
you don't have a ton of VODs.
It's true. Well, she's just not a very popular character, right? And I actually think that she's a little bit better than people give her credit for, even from win rates. Because I think, and this is going to be a big theme of today, is I don't think the average player, even the average May player, understands what makes her unique. And so we'll talk about that in the VOD a little bit more in detail. But taking things more seriously the last few months, improving from gold to diamond is a massive, massive, massive jump. So I guess from what you understand or what you know, are there any skills that you feel like you improved at execution wise during your practice, or was it just like a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I did a bunch of like mini coaching sessions. We did some VOD reviews.
Cool.
I step one for the first few months was just like learning Overwatch and what all the characters did, and then once
Yeah.
I got all
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
down, I think recently I've been working more on like playing my life, like proper positioning, taking angles correctly,
Yep.
like getting good flanks when I should be, and not and like cooldown usage and just working on that kind of stuff, and then obviously improving on my icicle shots
Yep.
have kind of gotten me there. I play with friends quite a bit, which obviously did help a little bit, but I solo queued a good chunk as well.
Good.
I think plat was pretty difficult for a bit.
Yeah.
It took a little bit to get going.
Well, I mean, to get the plat is like it means you're technically like I guess right at average or slightly above average, depending on how the bell curve goes. So like coming in fresh into Overwatch for people that have been playing this game for thousands and thousands of hours and then beating 50% of them is pretty darn good, right? That's quite the accomplishment. So, okay, so May we want to be annoying. We like the complicated different things that you can do. Now, at the time of the form, you played around 8 hours per week. So, what's your training like looking like nowadays? How much with your friends? How much solo queue? How much ranked? How much quick play? And so on. You said 95% May, so that simplifies things. But are there any other details that are worth discussing here?
I only play ranked. And I'm probably right now around the same amount. I'm probably playing more Overwatch than I ever have, which is again isn't a ton, but yeah, probably at least 8 to even more. Like
Okay.
I think in the past couple weeks, it's probably
Okay.
been like
Okay.
maybe 10 to 12. A good
Sure.
chunk of it has been with friends. I
Yeah.
don't solo
Yeah.
queue often, but usually I'll like duo and sometimes
Okay.
you five stack even.
Okay. Okay. I would encourage you to solo queue like probably 20-25% of the time at least. I know like part of the fun is playing with friends, but I would encourage like what I would say solo queue status checks, which is essentially allowing yourself to recalibrate your rank to where you actually are and not boosting yourself or nerfing yourself even rank wise because you're
Hmm.
playing with a group of friends because not everybody improves at the same level. And so when you're queuing exclusively with friends or with a stack, you're basically getting shared SR. Maybe one of you is getting much better, one of you is getting worse, but everyone's getting the same reward. There's no performance-based SR, right? So for you, having
Yeah,
calibrations where you can be like, okay, I got boosted, I'm going to drop back down to plat 2. That's not only good for you to know what rank you actually are, but it's also better for the quality of games because it's going to make the people that are like sweating and struggling carrying the game, it's going to be easier. It's going to feel more fair. In addition to that, I think there's also an argument for like maybe you're better than Diamond 5 or whatever you are, right? Like maybe you've been the one that's boosting. You could be the lowest ranked player in the lobby and be boosting the lobby. I don't know if you realize that, right? Because if you think there's another really bad player on the enemy team, right? Like let's say that you're playing with a bunch of Masters friends and you're the Diamond player. Maybe you're actually like Diamond 2. But because you're having to carry your hard stack Masters 4 teammates, it says you're Diamond 4. You get what I'm saying? So what I encourage you to
hmm
do is solo queue for a certain percentage of time, not just to be able to focus on your own goals because that's obvious, but also because I think it allows you to recalibrate your rank effectively. Make sense?
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Let's keep going. Any other questions about training time, practice? I assume sensitivity, all that stuff, that's something that you've probably put your time into already.
Yeah, I think that's stuff I've been actively working on.
Okay. Okay. Things that are holding you back, understanding as a newer player, game knowledge. Obviously, we'll talk about that. Are there any other things, sorry, that come to mind before we jump into the review here?
Yeah, I mean, I picked out two VODs. I know we're probably not going to get to both, but I think there's definitely still some character, at least I'm not exactly sure
Yep,
sometimes.
sure.
That does come up now and again.
That's okay. We'll talk about them if we want to.
Otherwise, I struggle sometimes to know what to do against dive comps in
Yep.
particular.
Very challenging.
I
Yep.
think one of the VODs is where I don't think that one is as good of a game as the other one, but it is against a ball tracer sombra comp where I feel like a little lost on where to be going or where to
Sure.
hold myself or even who to target. Like where am I like who am I like am I supposed to spray down the ball? Am I
Yeah,
supposed to
I understand.
just go for the sports? So that I would say that's something that I have quite a bit of questions about.
Okay, sounds good. We're going to talk about basically, I'm going to teach you some fundamentals. And then what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you practice trying to critically think and apply those fundamentals in context. Okay? So
Okay.
let's talk
Yeah.
about some fundamentals really quick. Let me pull up, and I'm going to treat you like a bronze player because even though you're very good, you're very new. So I think we want to make sure that we're building off of a strong foundation, if that makes sense, and there's no misconceptions that are tarnishing your understanding, okay? So
Yeah.
first things first, Mei in comparison to other DPS characters, and really just other tank and support characters, is what I call a range hybrid. All Overwatch characters operate on a spectrum of longer range versus shorter range, somewhere in between. Junkrat, shorter range. Hanzo, longer range. Genji, short range. Freya, generally longer range. Echo, kind of a hybrid. Cassidy, kind of a hybrid. You get what I'm saying? There's even characters like, let's say, Ana, who's a sniper, but is very lethal with her cooldowns and close range. You understand what I'm saying? There's characters like, let's say, something like a Torbjorn, who's actually pretty lethal at all ranges, right? Depending on the situation. There's characters that are like Sojourn, who aren't very scary at very long ranges until she gets rail, and then all of a sudden she's terrifying, right? There's characters like Orisa that are generally close range, but can occasionally provide pressure from long range. Where do you find Mei to be?
I I would say May's close to medium.
Close to medium, right? But she's definitely a hybrid because your icicles have zero fall off, fast projectile, and do a ridiculous amount of damage.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So when we look at Mei, I think it's 85. I want to say Mei Overwatch. I feel like we can check this in game. I forget that this is now a thing we can do here. So 85 damage, right? So that's 170 damage for a headshot, and the reason why that matters is breakpoints. Headshot, body shot will one-shot any or two-shot any 250 HP character. And that's way better range than Bastion. That's way better range consistently than Echo, than Genji, than Junkrat, than Venture, than Tracer, than even Symmetra at times. You understand what I'm saying? So Reaper, right? Certainly. Brigitte, Lucio, and so on. So hybrid is really important. The thing about Mei is that generally her more personality-filled aspects definitely define her, but don't let them distract you from the fact that they aren't the only things that she does. What's the advantage of primary fire over alternate fire?
It cleaves, which is one. It's
okay. Let me stop you right there. How often are you given cleave opportunities in an Overwatch 2 game?
I've tried to. This is a more recent thing. I've found it quite a bit. For a while I was not using it nearly as much as I should have, and then these last like 2 weeks, one of my training goals has been to like use it more in actual like up close range, because I was going for dinks like when they're right in front of me, and I think it does roughly the same amount of damage in close range.
Okay, well that was range. Okay, there's a bit of latency there, but yeah. If the advantage is cleave, but you just described a situation that's not cleave. So let's go back to the drawing board. What else does primary fire provide besides cleave? Because it's not just cleave. What else? If you don't know, it's fine.
It does more damage per second.
I'm not so sure that it does. I actually would need to go back to the drawing board. I think it's approximately the same, a little bit slower than primary fire if you're hitting body shots. It's certainly slower if you even hit one headshot. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. However, it's harder to miss.
Oh, yeah.
So, in addition to that, look at the target's feet. See the purple right there at the bottom? That means it's slowed.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I missed out on the slow effect. That's like, yeah, that's the...
Slow is really important, right?
That's the best part of it. That's the best part of it.
Yeah. Which means you can even have a lingering effect with the slow. Check this out. You see it?
Yeah, it does linger for a bit. It was actually kind of funny. I realized I need to start doing it more when I played a couple tank games just for fun, and I played against the Mei who was primary firing, and I was like, oh yeah, the slow's really annoying. I should probably do this more.
Yeah. Okay, so slow can even allow you to land a shot easier, because it means that there's a brief moment where you can icicle, and it's easier to hit because they're slowed. It cleaves. Mm-hmm. And it's just easier to hit, as we already seen. In addition to that, that was poor timing because he died. But it does freeze quicker and ult, like something that you're probably aware of. Okay, we know that. Okay, so primary fire is more limited with range. It does arguably certainly lower burst DPS and lower DPS as a whole if you're hitting your shots, but it also slows, it's easier to hit, and it can cleave. Right? Banger. What about your alt-fire? No fall off, faster burst, more pressure from range. That's easy. We've already talked about that, right? Now, let's talk about Ice Block. What's Ice Block do?
Ice Block's amazing. Saves your life, heals you, blocks doorways on very occasional situations.
Sure. Here's another little niche thing about it, okay? When you're ice blocked, do the enemies give you attention sometimes?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can pop out early to try to take them off guard.
It's scary, right? So you're able to keep people's attention and keep it without actually putting yourself at threat at all. So there's situations where you can go in aggressive, apply a lot of pressure, then ice block, and you're still giving yourself time to maintain their attention while pulling attention away from your team. All right, let's talk about wall then. Okay, so ice block, pretty simple, not always easy to use, but simple in theory. Okay, what about wall? How do you use wall? What does wall do?
I feel like there's always better things to be like ways to be improving a wall, but wall in general, is trapping people in, blocking off sight lines, basically using it as a way to like make someone not exist for like a few seconds.
That's it, right? Like that's the most important thing to understand, right? Wall says this person is not contributing for a few seconds. It's actually less about isolating a tank or isolating a DPS. It's more about preventing people from contributing. Let me give you an example right here. I could wall this guy N. And whatever follow-up is behind him, he's not gonna get follow-up there. I could even use my wall to trap somebody like this in a small room to make sure they can't get out, right? That's great. But let's be realistic, right? Especially with how open a lot of Overwatch maps are, you're playing versus dive, you're just not gonna get those walls, okay? Just doesn't happen. So that's when you do walls like this. Who is not contributing right now? All these people. Are they cut off entirely? No. Can they walk around your wall? Yeah. Can they break your wall? Yeah. But they can't shoot you. And they can't heal this person. And so when we talk about isolation, it's important that you're not fishing for total isolation with Mei, because that's very rare. Does that make sense? Instead, it's as simple as just, I'm not going to let you shoot me for a second. I'm going to prevent you from contributing to the fight. That's it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's all it really means. And so it's really important that you understand that, so that you're not fishing for the perfect wall at all times. If the map doesn't give you the perfect wall, you just need to split off a sight line, cut off one person, even if they can walk around and contribute. You just need to inconvenience somebody. It's about making a 5v5, a 4v5, even just for a couple of seconds. That's it. Now, what about your Blizzard? Maybe the most challenging aspect in terms of consistency. So what have you learned with Blizzard?
With Blizzard, recently I've been trying to, not like every time, but before I would pretty much always just throw it at my feet. I've been trying to throw it a little further in certain maps, on certain situations now, just like into their backline a little bit, because you can catch people off guard. Recently also, depending on which perk I pick, with the new perk that heals allies, I've honestly been using it a little more liberally, just in team fights, just kind of chucking it in there. Not really thinking about, I'll either throw it in just during a team fight to give everyone a speed boost and healing, or try to isolate one of the enemies and at least guarantee one,
Sure.
if I am going to do that. Yeah.
Sure. One of the simplest ways of thinking about Blizzard, especially with that healing, whatever sustain perk, is that Blizzard needs to be used on valuable space, and then don't worry so much about if it kills people directly.
Yeah, just zoning.
Zoning, but make sure that it's really, really valuable space. In other words, if their backline's all clumped and you throw Blizzard at them and the backline scatters, that sucks for them. They don't want to move. It's really inconvenient, right? And so with Blizzard, yes, there's situations where you can just isolate and kill people and so on, but the most consistent way to think about it is like, what would really suck for the enemy team? What would be the worst spot for them to run away from? Which is why if you're the target, if you target yourself, that's annoying. I want to kill the Mei, right? And now they can't, right? So that's the most consistent way of looking at it. We'll look at that in VOD review and we'll explain the different situations here. Any questions so far?
This all makes sense so far.
Okay. Now, the thing that makes Mei unique, the two things that we're going to talk about, is your flexibility with your range. Okay? In other words, you can operate at really any range effectively. Close, medium, even far, depending on the composition. And the second thing is your insane survivability. You have a full heal, you have a wall of isolation, and you have more HP. In addition to that, you can operate at basically any range, so you can make basically any angle work. What that means is that you are the queen of finding off angles and taking space in any situation. Are you always the best tool for the situation? No. But you're basically like the black pepper of the Overwatch, where you just really can't go wrong with adding a little salt and a little pepper. Is it garlic or cumin or chili powder? Which one would be better? Probably one of those, but you just can't go wrong with salt and pepper. It just is so incredibly consistent, and that's what Mei does. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How does Mei beat dive? Well, wall isolation is not like you're going to wall any tanks in. Yeah, but you know what you are going to do? You're going to be a really hard dive target, and you're also going to shoot those frickers in the head, because you're really good at taking off angles, shooting people with your alternate fire, and not dying. Casty can poke better than you, but he's 50 HP less and doesn't have an ice block, right? And the same thing goes for all the other ones. What about... let's talk about dive. If you're playing with dive, right? Now, can Mei play with dive? Well, yeah, sure, why not? Are you going to be able to go run onto backline and kill backline? No, but you could wall off the backline. You could poke out the backline. You could poke out the tank. Basically, there's so many situations where you can control and hold space with Mei that's really important that you're doing so. And we're going to be looking at that as a priority. And then we'll look at how you're using your cooldowns when you're holding space. Any questions before we jump in?
I guess, which VOD do you think would be better? Both of them? I am not... I mean, I picked games that were pretty close. We lost both. and they weren't my best games, but I was like at least doing stuff, which is I think all that really matters. And I was making mistakes, which is
Sure.
kind of the whole point of this. I didn't want to just choose a VOD where we like stomped them. Do you think the full dive one would be good, or just the other one with like maybe a little more overall info?
I kind of want to look at the full dive one because if that's one you were really confused at, but we can popcorn a little bit. We can look at the full dive one for a little bit and then jump ahead to the other one before we finish it.
Okay, let's do that one. This one is actually with my friend who you have coached before
Okay, sounds good. Let's take a look here.
as our tank.
All right. Winkinator, yeah. Okay. The wall is to wall when the fight has started. That's the number one thing. I do not want you spending any time, wasting time, not walling when there is a fight started. So, has the fight started right now? Yes, the ball has slammed. We are fighting. So, who should you wall? What should you wall right now? Cut off a sight line.
Realistically, if I from where I'm already at, I should probably just wall off like kind of right in front so the Ash doesn't have line of sight as the cart turns the corner.
Yep, that's it.
Right there.
Just wall right there. Now,
Or
are you
if
going to
I'm
get
on the left, I can wall her off.
correct? Now, are we going to guarantee cut off the sight line, trap the ball? Are we going to kill the wall because because we use the wall? No. But it's going to allow you to put full attention on the wrecking ball and remove her from poking. Now, alternatively, you could wall off. Let's say there was somebody here. You could wall off this and poke the Ash instead. But it's remove Ash Moira's contribution from this engage. That's it. Make sense?
Yeah.
I want that to be
wall.
I want that to be like the consistent pattern we do with Mei. I'm not saying waste wall. I'm saying as soon as you see value to cut off a sight lane when the fight starts, use it immediately. Do it now. Right now, I don't mind us shooting the Ash. That seems fine. It's like you could shoot Ash or you could shoot ball. But the reason why I want you to shoot ball here is because we could wall off the Ash and shoot the ball. If we didn't have wall, shoot the Ash. Does that make sense? Use the wall as soon as you can, and that simplifies what you should be shooting at.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm hanging on to it too much.
You try to use it there, but the unfortunate thing is you cut off the sight line
I think I end up
as she's
dropping it,
dying,
yeah.
as she's already dying, right? Like
Yeah.
she's gone, so it's like whatever. Okay. Now, what should you do? We need an angle, right? We don't want us to walk out of a choke. Feels terrible, even if it's 4v5. You could have walled up to here. You could have walled up from payload to here, but we've now committed to here. What should you do?
I think I should push off the Sombra, maybe take the stairs up.
Correct. You're going to have cooldowns real soon. You are the best duelist maybe in the entire game when you have both cooldowns. Like, you are unbelievably difficult to focus.
Yeah, she shouldn't be able to kill me here.
No, she just doesn't. So now we keep going. Now we keep going. Now we keep going. Now this is our lane. Now what do you do? Well, this, right? Now, you could trap the ball here, but do you see the reason why this wall isn't great? The idea here behind the wall is I'm going to trap the wrecking ball, right? Okay. But do you see how that's not always good? Is the ball trapped in here with you, or are you trapped in here with the ball? I don't know.
I'm trapped in. I can never kill the ball. He has so much HP. Even if I wall him off here, he can
Right.
run. I don't even think I could kill him even if he didn't run.
Sure. So is finding the ball bad? No, it's fine. You could take a really effective HP trade with him. The difference between tanks and DPS and duels is that tanks always win the duels until the DPS is supported. If a supported tank versus supported DPS fights, usually the supported DPS wins because your HP is more efficient and you're more lethal. Does that make sense? So right now, you taking tank's HP, taking his attention is fine. There's not a problem here whatsoever. The problem is that this mindset of I'm going to trap the ball, obviously it's not a very well-placed wall to begin with, when instead you probably should just shoot the ball and instead look for a, ready for it, sight line to cut off. There's nobody here that you can see, so guess what? Don't use the wall. Make sense?
Yeah.
So in a way,
this is exactly why I thought this VOD would be really good, because I probably do this more, and because there's times where I'm like, I don't know what to do about this ball. Like he's here, and I don't feel like I can ever catch him or do anything. Yeah,
so don't chase him. Don't chase him. This is fine to focus the ball here. This is really good. He's like, Mei, I'm never gonna kill her, right? But here, I actually would just be like, well, just go back, go right back, go right back. You, as long as you have your ice block, you are able to fight ball. Does that make sense? The reason why I want you to pursue ball here is because the alternative means that you don't have an angle at all. Does that make sense? And so we need to immediately retake an angle. Where should we be right now? There's two choices.
I can get over on the left in the window or in the right room there.
So we go to the left and fight ball, control space here, or we go over to the right room and we start poking from here. Which one do I like better? I don't care. This one is more pokey, pokey, pokey. This one is more brawly, brawly, brawly. Which one can Mei do? Well, both. Your choice. You see it?
Yeah, both are fine. Probably matters more on where my teammates are.
It doesn't matter that much. If your entire team is right, I'd want you on left, or if your entire team is left. But you can go with your hazard. You can go by yourself. We don't really care. I just need you on an angle, and I need you on an angle now. Now, why is an angle important? Because we can deny off angles. We can poke, but also because you don't see anything right now. And that's what's going to happen when you play on payload. They're going to play around avoiding you and your team's sightlines, and we need to go here so that we can do this. Poke, 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 poke. Make sense?
Yeah.
Take an angle. Get off of cart. We don't have a sightline, and so what that means is because we don't take an angle, because we don't have a sightline, what do we end up walling? Nothing. Zero.
Yeah,
nothing. Because you didn't have information. Now, in hindsight, what could you have done here? Let's push you here. Let's push you here. Let's put you here. Now what do you wall?
I could have walled the stairway right there.
You could have walled the stairway, right? Maybe we don't even use wall. Maybe we let them walk forward until the ball touches point, and then I just wall off their entire backline so we can all focus ball again. Again, we can cut off a sightline confidently. It's not a guess because you took the angle first. Does that make sense? So the rule is use your wall as fast as you can, but step 0 really should be take an angle first, then decide what you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, the key thing here is, was this a hard flank? No, just a little bit off to the side. That's all. Sometimes it's a hard flank, sometimes it's not. Sure. Again, where should you be right now?
Not right in the middle, probably.
Here.
Yeah, off to the side, yeah.
But what's the problem? You got the order of operations wrong. What should you be doing right now? You should be walling. What would you be walling right now if you had it?
From here, I'd just be walling straight forward from this. Like, if I can reach,
Sure.
just cut off the supports for a few seconds.
Yeah, just
Because
this
our
inconvenience the
tank is fighting
supports.
DPS.
Yeah, cut off the Moira, cut off the Ana, or cut off both. Honestly, if you messed it up and walled off the soldier and you could still isolate the cast, that would still be useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
wall
fine.
right there.
Just be a nuisance, right? But the problem is that you walled blind, then it rotated to an angle, right? You're noticing a
and
pattern
it-
here.
It was a useless wall. I just dropped it right away.
Right, because you didn't know. The angle's good. This is nice. This is you playing your hybrid. You can unironically poke out Soldier Cassidy at this range because you have no fall off and they do, right? I mean, look at that, right? This is really good. Risky. I like the angle, but would have preferred you get a little HP back first. Like, I love the angle here. I love it. Just get your freaking wall. So to get your, then we can actually do what we need to do. So yeah.
Yeah, a little risky.
And this is what makes Mei unique, is not just the poke here, but can the ball really push you here or clear you here?
The ball?
Yes. Enemy ball.
I mean, technically, yeah. Right? Ball can
But
get-
effectively, no. Right? Why? Because 300 HP. Because freeze. Because ice block. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. She can't. You can't kill me.
What Mei is slow. Mei is just freaking slow. But Mei is incredibly hard to dislodge from angles. Does that make sense? So you might not always be able to rotate and move your angles very quickly, but once you get your feet set, you are impossible to remove, more so than almost any other DPS. Torb, really Torb comes to mind as being maybe one of the other ones. Does that make sense? So your angle here is really powerful, and you just can't be punished for being there. And that's the key thing with Mei. That's just fine. I would leave card as fast as you possibly can, though. I don't think you realize that your Kiriko's here. But yeah, you need to get off here. Okay, good. Now, I don't mind this. You don't have to be on the high ground, because is this a very good off angle with the context of what your team is doing right now? Well, kind of. But there's a lot of people already here. You see what I'm saying? So I question...
Would you
where
maybe
else?
wrap left?
Maybe you just go on your own solo mission here and be really careful with your ice block in your wall.
Yeah.
Do you
'Cause
see it?
I had my cooldowns up, so
You
think I
did.
could
You did.
take
You
it.
did. And here's the question. Where is ball going to come from? Well, from here. I can disrupt it. I can dislodge that. If they try to follow up, I can hold the space here. I don't hate your position right now.
Yeah, I kind of forgot the space on the left even exists, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a map knowledge thing, too.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind what we're doing right now. This is okay. You could wall off the sight line so that you can get closer if you like to, like the wall for your rotation, but this is okay. On this map, I think I'd choose the other perk. I think I'd choose the other perk on this map. Just given the verticality that we have.
Which one did I choose?
The wall jump. You chose the blizzard one.
Yeah, this was, I think, before the recent buff.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which I was experimenting with it, and also we might see a couple mishaps where like I rarely ever take it, and I was like, oh, I'll try it. I think I'm maybe supposed to take it on this one, but I would say before the buff I was taking the blizzard one almost every single time. And then now I'm like, now that they fixed it and it's not awful, I'm starting to take the other one on occasion.
I agree. I think the other one is probably better, I would guess, like 60-65% of the time.
Yeah.
Any map with relevant verticality, it's really, really nice. It also can even help you win duels by helping like these little goofy surprise peeks and corners. Like you can do like a widow grapple shot on turning a corner. I'm not right. So there's all sorts of silly things that you can do. Big thing here is we have committed to high ground and our team is all dropped. So this is now your angle. So do not second guess this. You need to commit to this position, but find somewhere to get value. Where could you go from here? Now, keep in mind, you don't have the information that we have, right? So how could you deepen from this angle? You've committed to high ground. Okay, now what? Where do you
go? I imagine I don't even know what I do here. I think what I'm supposed to do is probably go further up in that little corner.
Keep walking.
There,
keep walking.
I don't see anyone. Just keep walking. I don't know if that's what I do, but that looking back on it now,
you have that idea, right? It's the same thing of why I was not upset, but why I think to min max you should have gone from here to here, right? And then played because crossing is inconvenience. It means giving up space. You've committed to the high ground. They don't take it. Okay, now I'm going to wall off your Ana, drop and kill you, right? So I don't mind you shooting here. It's just you're probably, especially because you have your wall, there's probably something better that you could be doing. Like wall off the Ana and then shoot the ball, kind of a thing. You get what I'm saying? Because your advantage versus Ana is like, yeah, you can sniper, but like you could do so much more. You could wall for sightline and so on. This is fine because nobody's on cart, but then again, it's a situation where as soon as you leave, somebody fills the void on cart, and so now we need to immediately... And this wall's pointless, right? This is not a cutoff sightline. This wall's going to expire. He's going to touch point. You know what I'm saying? Take a position. Yeah. Take your angle first, then wall. So where should you be from here? You dropped. Maybe a mistake. Maybe not a mistake. But what can we do right now?
Be anywhere else except directly on main. On the right, even back up.
You could freaking go here.
Yeah.
And then you could get your wall here or get your wall here and then just throw your blizzard. We're talking about valuable space. If they commit resources to try to push you out here, like 2 or 3 people, just throw your blizzard here. And then wall off main, and then you're guaranteed going to cap. They can't push you. Impossible. The thing that makes May unique is the fact that she has so many things that she can do with her buttons. And if you're quick on your feet, you can do so many things with those buttons, right? But it starts with you being in a position to where you can actually do things. The problem here is that really the only thing that we're doing is taking occasional soft off angles and using our icicle fire. Now, that's why you're diamond, because the plat or gold May would dribble saliva onto the keyboard and just chase the enemy tank with primary fire.
Yeah,
you're more nuanced than that, right? You got a little bit more of a brain. You recognize the poke, you recognize angles here and there. You're being clever, and soldiers respecting you. The problem is that we could be closer, more aggressive on this angle because we have visor and because we have blizzard and ice block, and we should have our wall. Like, if we had our wall here, this would be great. Now, let me ask you a question. You're throwing blizzard on point. Now, it hits the hazard wall. We'll ignore that.
Yeah.
Is this valuable space? Is point valuable space right now?
Currently, no. None of the enemies are even on there except for the ball.
But stop. Don't think about the enemies. Think about the context of the fight right now. Is point valuable space, right? I know I'm leading the question here.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because we're so close to capping.
0.12. Blizzard on point, even with the mines, right? It's going to kill the mines too. Sure.
I think that was my goal, was to just at least clear the mines and be like, just so we could maybe touch.
Sure. Just don't let anybody touch. So you know what? It's good. This is fine. I just hate your angle. It's too shallow.
Yeah, it
Now,
hurts seeing all that empty space on the right there.
right.
Now that I can actually see it, like it's just completely uncontested for the most
Right.
part.
And can you always get your hands dirty? If I didn't have my Blizzard here, if I'm playing versus like Reaper or Orisa, maybe I'm a little bit more scared. But I have my full resources. I have my Blizzard. I can be a very, very, very proximity pilled, right? Especially with a heal perk that you chose, for crying out loud. Like that gives you so much to do with this perk, right? Or with this situation. But yeah, it obviously misses, but it's going to do the job. And that's all I really care about.
Yep.
I hate these walls so much. Take the position first, then wall. Walk forward, see what happens, then decide to wall. Because you might need a wall in a 1v1, right? Walls are really good in 1v1s. Cuts off sightlines, baits cooldowns, prevents their escape. Where should you be right now? Obvious question, right? Obvious answer.
Yeah, same.
Not here.
Off to the right.
Yeah. You have your resources here.
Off
yeah, sit left. Right here. Sit here. And what could you do with your wall here?
Like I could wall one of them off easily. Like I could easily trap the soldier in if I wanted to.
Yeah, sometimes
split them.
Yeah, you could split them. You could do anything. You could even shoot them a couple times, see if they all chase you, and then just wall them off so they can't chase you. Because you're like, you can't chase me now, right? Just cut them off from where they want to contribute. You have your ice block. You got your HP. Let's go. See, this is scary. This is still scary. You see it? It's uncomfortable because you're in the gauntlet. Anyone. Right. Mm-hmm. You're in the gauntlet here. You have to control space. And so it's really easy for them to avoid you. And it's really easy to get, you see it? Like she missed the nade. That's the only reason you didn't die. So take space. Take angles. Yes. And that's what makes Mei so good at taking angles, is because there isn't really a bad angle for Mei, right? We've seen you take contesting soldiers on high ground. We've seen you contesting wrecking balls, 1v1 in small rooms, right? That's it. You don't really have a bad matchup. You're not always the best matchup, but you don't really have a bad matchup if you're taking the right space and playing around your cooldowns. Like, I don't know any other DPS that could confidently take this 3v1 and not really be scared, with the exception of maybe Tracer, if she's really good, right? You're just not scared. You might not kill them, but you're not going to die to them. And so we've essentially lost the script here. This sightline cutoff is fine with that wall. I would have preferred you to be on an angle, but that's definitely a good wall for that. Where should you go? I mean, obvious answer, right? Same thing. Continue the lane. You've deepened here. What do you do from here? Well, do you go inside here, or do you take high ground?
Either.
You're Mei. You can do either one.
anything but what I'm doing now.
You're Mei. You're doing both, right? So I know we're being critical, and I know it's painful to watch this, but I want to highlight that the fights that have gone well are because you didn't do this, right? So you are doing the right thing occasionally, much more frequently than the average Mei. So you've earned your rank. Even here, you can wall yourself to top if you want. Yeah, this is. It's brief moments of tight focus and excellent execution. Really good job. That's really unfortunate. Good angle. Same thing here. Where do you go? Well, right. Just keep going right. This is your space. Do not let them push here, right? Maybe you don't have to even push here. You could just hold the space here and poke. Don't let them walk. That's fine. That's fine. We've isolated the ball, so now there's no follow-up to his dive, but do you notice that because we lost the angle, we've actually allowed them to rotate onto that angle for free, so you will now ice block.
I'm not even sure if I knew there was a window on that right side there into there.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when you explore the map a little bit, right?
I know, right?
Right,
I just watched your video on how to self-auto review and figured out how to actually go in the control the map setting or the video camera settings. I had no clue how to do it before.
Yeah. It's the best replay viewer of any game that I've played before once you get the handle of things. It's really, really clean.
It is good, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'd criticize is that the stupid skip times section thing, you have to do that again every single time you do. But other than that, it's good. I like the signal from you a lot. Again, it's flexible. And now this is beautiful. So this is, okay, so I love that we're playing versus Ball Summer Tracer, because this is going to be the definition of hard carry potential, hard throw potential. You're either going to do nothing or you're going to do a lot. Is there going to be anything that pokes you out from this angle, like shoots you in the face from 40 meters?
No, they don't have anything.
So what do? You hold the space and you make it miserable. Do you see a sightline to cut off right now?
Yeah, cut off the Life Weaver.
Cut off Life Weaver right now. Is the fight starting? Absolutely. We're fighting right now, right? Moira's fighting us. Use it right now. No, is it worth cutting off Life Weaver? I don't care. Use it right now. Use it.
Yeah.
Use it. Hindsight, maybe we'll learn more about the matchup. Maybe we'll realize it's worth it. Say, just use it. Just use it. Yes, love that. Yes, and look what happens. He uses his pedal, doesn't work. He's dead, or she's dead. See, this is what makes Mei good versus dive. Hitting your shots, inconveniencing the dive. And yeah, you can't peel off the Sombra Tracer if they dive your backline over there, but there's going to be no follow-up to the dive from that backline if you can have your way with it. And if they dive you, not very successful usually.
Yeah, even if I can't necessarily kill them, they can't really kill me either.
Let me think about it from your backline's perspective, all right? And I play a lot of support, so I'll be able to answer this question for you. But how does a dive optimally want to kill backline? Like, they get close, right? Most characters, right? But you kind of want to surround, right? If you're playing Mei here, and your backline's here or here, where are the threats going to come from? Even Ball Sombra, right? Like, as crazy mobile as those characters are, where are they going to come from?
From behind.
From behind. Where? Behind. Be specific if you can.
So through on the left side, like either through that tunnel that I was playing at the very beginning.
Yeah, like
the
here.
Stairs.
Right here.
Yeah, or if it's like a tracer, maybe she can somehow blink through the middle point and get.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know the map well enough. Is there a way she can get up from behind
she
there?
can. She has to use blinks, but she can. But you're also here, right? So basically, what you're doing, and you probably don't even realize it, is you're saying you guys have to use this or do funny tech behind here, because if you want to surround from this side, what happens?
There's no way through the building they can get up behind me, right?
No. Oh, they can get here, but they have to go through here. They have to go through here if they want to come this way. Do you see it? This is what you're doing, is you're saying, oh, you want to surround my backline? Well, guess what? One of these lanes is closed. You have to come from this way, which makes it more inconvenient and way more predictable. And even if your supports aren't thinking about this at all, like let's say you're literally playing with bronze players here, okay? They will still benefit from not having to look 3 different ways, only having to react in 1 or maybe 2. Make sense?
This is a really good point, yeah. This is something I should start to pay attention to.
So the reason why this is important is this is what we call accidental strategy, where with your intention to hold an angle and poke, you have accidentally shut off a lane from dive. When you go to third point and you take high ground, you've accidentally denied the Sojourn from taking that high ground on your team. Because if she goes up there, she walks into 300 HP with an ice block and a wall. You understand what I'm saying? So you end up accidentally denying flanks and angles by also taking those angles and flanks yourself. And as you start to get better in the ranks, I mean, you're at Diamond now, so you're going to see this more often. You're going to start running into people when you take these angles because they're going to be trying to take those angles away from you. And so that combat is what Overwatch 2 is. There's people fighting for space. It's like chess. I want an angle on your queen or king. You want an angle on my queen or king. So what ends up happening is we jockey for space. But if you're playing with a brand new chess player, they're not going to protect their king. They're just going to lose it, right? And so you are protecting your king right now while also thinking about your own value. Make sense? So right now, as long as you have something to do here, which would be shooting Tracer, shooting Weaver, whatever, you're good. Just don't chase too much. You're not a character that is designed for chasing. So if you're like, oh, if I could drop and freeze this ball, mistake. You've just opened up the lane and you've denied your poke value. What should you be doing with your cooldowns right now as the fight started?
I should be using my wall.
Now, you don't know who you're walling off, right? So you're going to have to do it quickly. What should you wall here? What can you see?
I think, just like diagonally right there. Like,
yeah,
boom,
you see it.
Right
You see something here, and you can think that maybe Weaver's here, so just throw the wall here.
It's not going to block the whole pathway, but just somewhere right in the
Inconvenience.
middle.
Inconvenience.
Right there, yeah.
And that's the great thing about wall. It's a lot like on a nade. It's a long cooldown, but it's something that you could just do and forget about it. You don't even have to think about it anymore. Just throw it. Inconvenience the more, no damage follow-up, no healing follow-up, no weave, no pull, no nothing. Just get it out of the way for just 2 or 3 seconds. Do it now. Then we could fully focus on hitting our shots. Clear the Sombra. Okay, she's gone. I don't like you chasing this. You know why? Because what's Sombra's advantage over you?
I can't catch her.
You can't catch her, right? So if you leave a good position to chase her, she's going to break your ankles and then go right back and take the angle that you left. Stay here. Now, does that mean you never move? No, of course not. You could poke here, you could move here. But as soon as you lose this space, you're now vulnerable to dive.
Yeah.
Because look at what happens here. Look what happens. As soon as you left, as soon
And
as you left.
this is good. This is good to note too, because in my head, I also don't play against a lot of Sombra. So when I hear the Sombra fighting one of our supports, my instant thought is like instinctually is I have to retreat and help them, or they're gonna explode.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think going for Sombra here was bad because she was right next to you. You see what I'm saying? So you absolutely should get her out. But the problem is that then
briefly,
once you're
right?
here, you've done your job, right? Like you can't really pursue her. The way that you're going to kill Sombra is not by chasing her. It's by headshotting her because you'll catch her by surprise. Like, oh gosh, I just died, right? But once she's disengaged, you just don't have the tools to pursue. But you don't need to because your value is here, whereas Sombra doesn't have the ability to do this, right?
So here now that Sombra's kind of back, now that she's even backed up a little bit, supports are alive. Now
Go
180 turn back around. Yeah,
correct. Or deal with the ball, or deal with the tracer, or whatever else there is to do here. This is your anchor point. And then if nothing's here, we can rotate to a new angle. But you've kind of anchored here, and then you will find value from this position. This is a waste of time, and this is what ends up happening. The ball fills the gap. Backline rotates for free. You're not at an angle. Your vision is really bad. Now, you're not doing nothing, but it's isolated. It's scary. You're surrounded. Sombra's doing what she wants. See, that's how you kill Sombra. But the difference is because you lost a good position, you're going to die for that. Right?
I also had to use my ice block for pretty much no reason.
Right, because you're in the middle of nowhere. You're not on an angle.
Yeah.
You don't have cover. You're in the middle of nowhere. You didn't want to be here. You were there because you felt like you had to deal with a problem. And that's the problem with having a character. I just finished coaching Lucio. Very similar, right? Where you have characters with a lot of utility. Mei, Lucio, lots of things that you can do. But if you put emphasis on, I need to be doing everything at once, you're going to do nothing well. Mm-hmm. You can force Sombra out, and then you can wall off ball, and then you can poke backline. But you do those things sequentially. Bam, 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 bam. You don't commit to one, run around the map and deal with it, and then try to deal with 4 different things. Commit to your lane.
Almost like what's my job? Almost like what's my job here?
Right. What's my job here? Not what's my job.
Yeah.
The first thing is where is here? Like right now, there's a moment of truth, right? Could you go solo angle and mark this from Sombra Tracer Ball? Yes, you could. Could you go underneath and play in the small room and mark and control the space and pressure card? Yes, you could. Could you rotate to top and clear space and poke them out from here and go from here? Yes, you could. Again, this is the luxury of Mei. You could do all of those things. What one do you want to do? Okay, now commit to that. So let's see what you do. As long as it's an angle, I'm okay with it. You see, this is the problem. I know what you're thinking here. You're thinking, uh-oh, here comes the dive. I'm going to go deal with it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I picked this one.
But where's the dive coming from? It's coming from here.
Yeah.
It's coming from here. It could come from here. You don't know for sure, but if you don't find it, then at least you'll get value elsewhere. Let's hope that they get the value. But the reality is that if the Sombra Tracer Ball get a good dive on your backline, they're going to die before you can stop it.
Yeah.
It's all about
basically
preventive.
you're saying like protect them by preventing them
Correct.
from taking the space rather than like actually saving their life.
Correct. Correct. There's very few abilities.
I'm babysitting them here for no reason.
Right. There's very few abilities in Overwatch that are actually useful in babysitting. Things like Inspire can be okay, Bash can be okay, Lucio's Boop can be okay, but they're very rarely things that you can really contribute and help with. So I like this much better because you know what? This is where Sombra was going to come from. You didn't know that, but you knew Ball would come from here, and maybe I can stop Ball from staging. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who should win this 1v1? Not her.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to kill her? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, but not her.
Probably not.
So that's good. And now we have the space. And now Ball's like, oh, we got to get this guy out. And you're like, yeah, come on. Now that's probably should not have moved with that. I'm holding my ground and then dropping if I need to. But now, do you notice what your backline has done? We've walked forward. We've taken space. Why? Because where was the dive? 1, 2 on you. Mm-hmm. And you absorbed it because you took an angle and then ran into the divers on accident. Mm-hmm. They needed this high ground to dive, and then you just denied it to them. Sombra's gone. Ball's already used his grapple. You see it? Mm-hmm. And so any dive here is... That was nice. And here we go again. Only mistake is probably should not have used your wall without ice block. Because this is cute, but if you get dove here, what does wall do here?
I think it's because I missed. I thought you could get up with the perk, and I realized very quickly.
Well, you can, because the perk is going to get you to here, and then you'll do exactly what you did last time, which is just make the bunny hop to here without anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. I don't think it was very I don't think using the wall was intentional.
Like right here.
Yeah.
Bam. You see it. Just do that with the bounce. And then, so whatever, minor mistake, not a big deal. What would you have done with your wall? This is an important concept. You don't have your ice block. What does a wall do here?
Just wall right in front of me.
Just wall right in front of me. I am not going to take the 1v1 with you. Come on, keep looking at me. I'm going to keep your attention, but I'm not going to let you do what you want here. But to be honest with you, I'm still a fan of this overall position for you because this is a long resource trade that they eventually won, and you've protected your team immensely, and this is still actually a very winnable fight here, given the space that you guys have. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. I actually think that like conceptually what you did was very good. Next time, just don't die.
Yeah.
Where's your lane?
Don't use the wall. On the left.
Yep, on the left. Now, why left, not right? Well, generally I don't like going on crazy deep flanks on Mei if I can avoid it versus these very hypermobile characters. It's more of a small detail to keep in mind. But the more important reason is that it just takes me forever to get there, right? I can go here right now and immediately start poking, baiting space, use my ice block, use my blizzard to hold space, whatever.
And look where the ball is, too.
Yeah, exactly. So this is lucky, but Tracer blinking directly at your team is never a threat anyway, right? What's really a threat is a Tracer coming from the side. So if Tracer blinks directly at your team, she's not a threat to anybody, but the ball is, as you said, right?
Yeah. I've gotten better at taking angles, but it's still apparent that when watching any VOD that I'm like, there's still so much further to go. Like,
do you know why that is?
A lot more.
Do you know why that is? Think about it this way. What is satisfying about what's happening right now? Is there any downtime?
I see people. There's
right.
constant
It's
action.
Immediate, right? Remember when you chased the Sombra? Remember when you chased the Sombra? I know there's a Sombra there, right? Remember that? You went and dropped off the high ground. Sombra. Now, in hindsight, your uptime would have been the same if you just simply turned around, but it's not the immediate obvious solution. It's I want do thing now. I know want take second do nothing, right? Like really that's all it is. So in this situation,
tunnel vision on the action.
It's tunnel visioning on the action and in a very inefficient way of doing it because they can also just duck behind a corner. Ironically, angles can often increase your uptime because you deny cover. But yeah, this is a disaster. Like there's really no reason for you guys not to have been able to touch this if you just committed on the angle, won the duel, thrown Blizzard on a point, lived. You could have done that. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
Even without your tank. Let's now that we're kind of back in third, where it's gonna be a lot more of the same, we can look at another code here if you'd like.
Sure, yeah, if we still have time.
Yeah, we have time. We definitely have time. We might not be able to get the full thing, but I think getting more reps on different maps and different matchups will be useful. So yeah, Mei is really good at like basically absorbing dives on angles and trying to play your resources accordingly, poking out dives, zoning spaces, and you saw a lot of that value on first point. We saw also some of it on second point, even though it was a little bit of mechanical misexecution. But I really do think that you were doing the right thing, and I think you should feel proud of that. It's also, frankly, just a much better map for dive. Like that is very easy to get isolated on Dorado because it's so freaking broad. I think you did a much better job. And yeah, okay. Any questions before we jump in?
This one I don't remember as much. I just remember noting there was like a really close game that I feel like we could have won. And this one I did not play very well. Also,
that's okay. That's all right. It happens.
But that's the goal.
Okay. Good news is that you do have Tickle Fart on your team, so I think we will probably win this one.
I'm queuing with two friends here, and that is one of them.
I can probably guess the other one.
I don't think you will, actually.
It's not Pimtastic?
It's not Pimtastic.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's a disaster. Okay.
It's...
Angle, good. Now, you're like, well, is my advantage over Ana range? Well, kind of, but in a war of attrition, I still prefer Mei, because you're like, oh, this is super aggressive, but like, really... You're not going to die here. Worst case scenario, you wall yourself, ice block, and just run away. Like, again, you have the luxury of taking an angle that nobody else can take because you're not very mobile, but I think this is maybe the little catchphrase that I need to use more often. Sustain is mobility. Because mobility allows you to be self-sufficient because you can disengage and re-engage. You can't do that.
Pretty safe, right?
but you could stay here for a long time, right? So what should you do with your wall? This is really important. This is like, unless you're saving it for a specific reason, I want wall happening ASAP. So what should you do?
Can I reach the Ana with my wall?
I don't know, but you need to try.
Yeah, I was like, I think just walling
Yeah. You need to try.
the Ana there.
You absolutely need to try. And then worst case scenario, it doesn't work, and then now you know for next time. Right?
Or honestly, if I can't, I can just wall kind of right behind the Sig and make it like awkward for her to try to.
You could.
Get
You could. You could. You sure could.
Either Sig has to wrap around the wall, or Ana has to peek
Yeah. You got the right idea. You got the right idea. And in this situation here where everybody's looking at you, you could unironically wall off yourself and just, okay, 2 people looking at me, keep them busy, and then rotate, and then you can keep going. You see, this is the problem. You're like, this is the plat brain rot, right? It's like, I wall choke, but why? Because you want to wall somebody off. Sigma may have no desire to back up right now. They can't. They're going to die if they do. So
and there's nobody even there.
There's nobody even there, right? Like, this is not cutting off an escape. They're not escaping, right? So what would you do with your wall instead? Well, I said maybe a niche thing, but you could walk off yourself when a lot of people are looking at you. But what would be the really easy thing? Well, just anything. Anything. Isolate, wall in front of the Mei, wall behind the Mei, wall split the Sigma and the Mei. Don't use your wall if you don't want to. Make sense? Okay. I like this from you. Just don't die here. And we're cooking. What do you do with your wall? Well, wall yourself off. Just don't let the Tracer kill you here. You see what I'm saying?
Does that work against you, sir? Is that something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like if you, because I mean, how's she gonna get to you? She's gonna have to blink around here and then blink through here. She's gonna have to use 2 or 3 blinks just to get around the wall. In which case, she's 1 headshot away from death, right?
Can she blink through the wall?
No, not through the wall. No, not at all.
Wait, what?
No, reframe your question for me. What are you asking here? I'm gonna make sure I understand.
So you're saying I could just wall kind of right in front of me, so the Tracer doesn't have to take that.
I'm saying if I'm here, as soon as I get my ice block forced, I'm going to look for an opportunity where Tracer's going to create some distance between myself, like right here. So I can wall at my feet and cut her off from coming from me. You see this gap here? Wall this gap. Or wall this gap right here.
Yeah.
You see it?
Now this is dangerous.
Right. Even without the Mei here, I would still wall this because you're no longer going to win this Tracer war anymore. Because she has, and see, there you go. That's it. Perfect. See, this is so freaking annoying for them because like we spent all these resources, 2 people, recall, everything, and we didn't get the freaking kill. This is what I talked about with sustain. You've basically held a 2v1 for an extended period of time, and then even better, even though you don't have your CDs, you can still do things because you have ridiculous range. So even one freaking body shot here, oh, this is a huge mistake. Hold the high ground and then wait until you have ice wall first. This is really annoying.
I see the purple on the Sigma, and I'm like, now's time. Immediately.
All right, let's say that you get your HP back, let's get your cooldowns back. Where's your next angle? Awkward, right?
Yeah.
Choose a lane. I want left or right here.
I'm going left.
Okay, we're gonna go left. We're gonna keep rotating left, and then where?
Yeah.
Then where?
I'd probably start going in that little corner, or even starting a flank into the building.
Yeah, you could even go into here. Yeah, deny the Tracer. Yeah, you got it. You could even just sit here and poke the Sig, just a little outside his fall-off range, but just hold the lane here. Make it so there's really nowhere where he's either getting pincered by Ana or D.Va. Yeah. This is like a really solid start to a fight from you. You did a great job hitting the shot in the Ana, controlling the high ground. Your team kind of fumbled it, but then also you really, like, you should win this fight. You should have won that fight.
Yeah.
You just fumbled it. Okay. Sure. Sombra Tracer again. Okay. Yep. And now you win the lane, so what do you do now? Well, it's up to you. Do we shoot on again?
Waller.
Good use of cover. Yeah. See, this is obnoxious. You just forced recall. You just forced Sigma shield. Ana can't do anything. This is great. Now, the problem here is that your well-meaning team is now all on top of you. Oh dear, I hate when this happens. So what should you do now? Now, hang on. What do you see? Or do we have angles?
We don't really have anything. I should probably start taking space on the left a little bit.
Yeah. You can push here, though, because it's only Ana. I thought for a second that your entire team is here, but it's actually just your Ana, so you're good. So just keep doing what you're doing, but you can do more of it, essentially.
Yeah, with Ana there, I
Yeah,
can probably push the tracer. I can
yeah.
even wall if I'm worried about them shooting me from up top. I can even
You're
wall like
good.
right here
You
in
sure
front of me
could.
and
You sure
keep
could.
going. Yeah.
Ah, this is a split wall. You want your diva contributing. I know you're doing this to protect your diva, but a better wall would be to split off the
Yeah.
Kiriko and isolate the Sombra, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not always bad to wall like that. There's some nuance there, but it's something to keep in mind.
I think it was because our diva got hacked.
Yep,
So I'm thinking,
yeah. Of
oh,
course,
they're
of course,
probably gonna
of
die.
course,
But
of course.
might be a misunderstanding on my part on exactly how powerful Sombra is and what she can do.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's fine. It's okay. This
Yep.
is really good. This is really good.
Oh, that's a misclick.
Yeah, it happens. Just don't peek when you don't have HP. Because like this is another situation where you played the fight relatively well and until you didn't. So I'm gonna look for a different point entirely just to practice our space taking skills. Okay. I love the fact that we're on Sombra Tracer again. It's just inevitable. Where's your lane? You have Blizzard, you have Ice Block, you have Wall, you have the full 9 yards. Where's your lane?
I actually don't know as much here. I'm thinking like honestly just behind the truck there is fine, or even in the building on the left because there's an angle.
You could hold here. Yeah. You could just when in doubt, left or right. Right? It's the same fundamental. And remember, because you're playing Mei, you're so freaking flexible. Like there's not really a bad lane here. So just get here and poke. And remember, how do we play versus dive? We poke, and stuff the lane. Because guess where the flankers are coming from? The flank, right? You need to be there. You need to be there now. You need to be there now.
Right. Anywhere
Right. So
main,
this is actually really good because where are the flankers coming from onto your backline? From main and left. Where are they not coming from? Right. Why? Because you're there.
Yeah.
So this is a selfish angle and a selfless angle simultaneously. This is really good.
It was a little late, but we got there.
It's a late, but we got there. This is also a good wall. Is there going to be a follow-up kill on this wall? No. Is there going to be panic and cooldowns forced because of this wall? Yes. Good job. Yep. Do you need this wall for yourself? No. You have your ice block. You're fine. This is really good. Very good wall. Yeah, see, this is anti-dive Mei. This is anti-dive Mei. The Tracer has literally been 3v1ing your backline, and you have basically been 3v1ing their backline, and she won. But it's not through lack of effort on your end, it's just through complete incompetence on your team's end. This is good. And she also used an ult. This is really good. Probably wouldn't wall this just yet, because you're thinking cutting him off, but it's also think sightline. Because he well, I guess maybe it could work. Oh, you're thinking Blizzard, aren't you?
I think that was the intention, yeah. Maybe I can get up close. And...
All right, where's the next angle? Don't think about getting close exclusively. Think about getting close as an angle. Because wanting to get closer when you have Ice Block and Blizzard is fine, but where is that next rotation going to be?
Wall up on right or left, or just go left.
Or just go left to literally here. And then go from here to here, right? It's so much safer and so much more value focused because you actually have a bit of a crossfire.
Overwatch is crazy. Every time you go left or right, there's always some room. It's almost intentional. I feel. Wild, right?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, but this is stuff that we've known. This is stuff that we've known back since whenever CS first came out, right? It's the fundamentals of good map design. Stuff like Marvel Rivals fumbles horrifically at is just 3 lanes, right? It's 3 lanes. It means it allows you to take angles, allows you to take flanks, and then there's different personality on those flanks that make them unattractive. Risk versus reward, very good, very bad, depends on the situation. A little bit of verticality. Even look at this map, right? This is the more open sightline, but it also has verticality. That means that if you don't have a big gun, like Genji can still get up there and contribute because there's verticality. Whereas this one's way more flat, but it also means that you have a much harder time getting onto the people that there's nuance, right? With every single thing here. So your problem here is that you're not really using that nuance comedy gold. Love that.
Incredible.
But yeah, really, really, really poor execution from you at the end. Because it just, you had the great lane and then just didn't know what to do with it, so just ran in the middle of the enemy team. Now, the good news is that it was a phenomenal start. And it worked because you never really let that Sigma stabilize. Did you notice that? He really never got his health back from literally 20, 25 seconds ago because he just took an angle, poked him to death, walled him off, poked him to death. He just never stabilized because he just had a Mei shooting him permanently. And so eventually they just died. In addition to that, I don't think a flanker purposely went after you, but if they had tried, they would have not worked because you were there. So that did simplify your backline's decision making. May, take a lane, deal the lane, deepen, shorten, whatever you do. But I think like that last question about where do we go from here is really where you need to work on with your angles. You need to be consistent with taking angles at 100%. We saw that in Dorado. But even when you do take angles, like we've seen on Numbani, the next step is where you struggle. It's the exact same thing as first fight Numbani. We take the high ground, we clutch the fight, then our brain starts to dribble out and we just run it down to Sigma, right? So we could close the distance with Sigma, but do so subtly. He still beats you up close. So you got to find a way to do so subtly and take space. Make sense? Mm-hmm. In terms of the micro, questioning your minor perk choices. I want you to experiment more with that one. I did not see, did you choose the freeze perk there?
Against the Sigma, I believe I did, but generally against dive comps, the other one's always better.
Yeah, the other one's just
so
more consistent, period,
Tracer.
right? The other one's just period. But yeah, your mileage may vary. I keep experimenting with the major perks. I think both are situationally okay.
Yep.
And then I'm thinking, what other major... Oh, I guess for Blizzard, just Blizzard space, right? Blizzard space, right? Like that situation, you take that left angle, you can Blizzard at Sigma, see what happens, right? Just make it chaotic, make it... You don't need it yourself. But yeah, lane theory. I really like how you're using your walls for the most part. The only thing I would say is just use them sooner in trades when you see a split. And don't think about chokes. But beyond that, I think I can definitely see that you've been putting the time in. And mechanically, you look good. You look strong. You don't look weak. You look fine.
I'll take that.
Yeah, it's good. I'm frankly, I see the diamond here. You know, I see the diamond. I see the work that you've put in. So keep it up.
Thank you.